Hey gang, Mocha Boy here. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning back in. So we are in our current war week right now. We just wrapped up our first war, and unfortunately, this one did escape us. But like I said, at the level that we play, this tends to happen. We actually lost this war by only 2 stars, and as you can see here, this match was unfortunately decided at this level here. We ran into a clan that when we looked at their profiles, it was absolutely clear to us that they were 2-star specialists, and this was the type of war that we have been planning, or at least training the Town Hall 9 members for pretty much all along. And one of the things that I want to point out here is that that's really important about the way that this all panned out was that looking at the war stats, we had more 3 stars than they did, and we had a higher overall average destruction, which is, that's the goal that we've been working on all this time, was to get our Town Hall 9s and our Town Hall 10s worked up to those 3-star strategies, and they absolutely pulled through. We took complete advantage of any of the hog bases that were available, and some of the tougher hog bases, we were able to 3-star those as well. So the guys did a great team assessing the bases for that were vulnerable to holo and any other of the hog or hog derivative attacks. And this is where, as a clan, you start. You start with the core team, develop up their skills, and then as they learn new tricks of the trade, they share that back to the membership, and everyone gets the benefit. So we'll cover a few of the attacks here that I thought were pretty exemplary of both attack planning, base assessment, and execution. But it's going to take me some time to work through all of these. The first one that I wanted to show up, and this is a topic that's been coming up a lot in on Reddit and just in general, but that's you're in a mid-tier clan, you have a few Town Hall 10s, you're a Town Hall 9, and you want to go in there and kick down some stars. So now this is tricky because the order of difficulty, or the magnitude of difficulty, between attacking a Town Hall 9 and a Town Hall 10 jumps exponentially when you're a Town Hall 9. Now, yes, you absolutely can do everything that a Town Hall 10 could potentially do to 2-star base, but it just requires, you have to be a little more creative in your approach to the base. I had the choice of number 3 and number 7, and I took a look at number 3, and the very first thing that came out to me was that this guy had single target Infernos. Now, single target Infernos are deadly against tanky type armies, so max go wee or even go wee wee, but they are weak to swarm attacks. So anything where any type of attack where you could dump a lot of defense-led troops on top of these Infernos is they're going to be weak to, because they can only target one troop at a time. So the idea here, and the way that I've been trying to break down these TH10 attacks, is that you have to do 2 things. You have to figure out how to disable that one of these Inferno towers to get close enough to the Town Hall to snipe it with the Queen, or whatever troops you have available. You have to take out the long-range defenses, and you have to free up enough percentage around the base so that minions can go in and clean up that 51%. So those are the strategic considerations you have to work out when you're attacking the base. How do you free up percentage? How do you punch into the core? And mostly you're looking for defects in the base design that you can capitalize on to get you there. Now in this case, this guy was the number 3, but the defects, well, they're not defects, they're base designs that I was capitalizing on. Were again the single target Infernos, but then a really compact design. This really compact design is good defensively because it creates a lot of hotspots. It creates a lot of DPS hotspots of overlapping DPS. Like there's like a 500 DPS hot zone right here and over here, but maybe a little less over on the side. But what it also does is it puts all of those defenses in a nice tight cluster for you to take a pack of defense-led troops through and completely wipe them out. So the plan here was to the plan here went something like this as I was working this out. And mind you, this is also kind of a lecture on how to build a custom army. Don't just build an army and then throw it at a base. Think about how you want to pick apart the base, then pick the right troops to do that. That way every single troop has a job, and then you come up with a strategy on the fly, and then call it your own. Anyway, for this, the idea here was to free up this percentage over here. So let's hang on a second. Let me get this going. The idea was to free up this percentage over here for a minion. This building over here is accessible by also a minion. These buildings would also go down. And this was to free up this this structure here for me to lure the CC. So the lure, well, we're going to be freeing up this corner, and then potentially some DPS, hit points down here. The lure is going to come in from the side, and then I'm going to drag it over to this side. I'm going to drag the troops over to this side. But in order to do that, you have to take out this archer tower first to free up this building to drop an archer on, and then lure out the CC. Once the CC gets to about this point, then you barb walk. You know, that's where they do this until they consolidate in a nice tight pack, and then you can work on them. Now, I did make a few mistakes in this. Some of them were mine, some of them were not. I mean, I didn't pop my BK ability in time, and I had some trouble with my tablet, and I couldn't deploy my witches in time, so I ended up losing a witch. And a couple of the balloons that I brought ended up not really amounting to anything, but you'll see those as this goes on. So anyway, once the CC's dealt with, then we can start launching the attack. And the idea here was to drop a giant to draw some fire, drop the rest of my DPS, and then I dropped my golem down here, and that was to draw all of this fire, but mostly this guy and this guy if possible, to keep my DPS troops alive. And then a couple of hogs right behind him to take out this guy. And then the bulk of my hogs, I think I brought, I want to say about 20. I brought 20 hogs, so that's 2 there, 18 there. The rest of these hogs would go at this defense, and then once they hit that, move on to there, move on to there. Now this is where things start to get dicey, because this cannon will have gone down as this archer tower gets processed. But you move from here to there, here to there. At this point, I wasn't sure exactly what would happen. There's this wall here and this wall here. If the hogs are right there where they're supposed to be, then they'll probably end up going in this direction. But I wasn't sure, and it's possible that a few of them might peel off and go in that direction. Now, it turned out that they actually did this, which was about as ideal as you could get it, because you want to wipe out this entire side to free up a snipe into the core. But what I got as a twofer was that I took this out, took this out, took this out, and then they split. So I took out that and then took out that. So the idea here was to heal that section, because remind you, the Inferno towers can only target one troop at a time, so the other ones will benefit from that, and then rage right away. Now the rage is what takes down the Inferno, and then whatever the Tesla is, and it'll process this clump of troops really quickly. So that's the general idea here. Now the execution of this was probably one of the toughest executions I've done in a long time, and I actually had to practice this a few times just to make sure. So as I was dropping troops so fast that I was probably dropping them blind and not checking to see not checking to see what they were doing. But this is the kind of mindset that you take on when you're a Town Hall 9 and you have to take on a Town Hall 10 opponent. Now my Archer Queen is a little bit higher, but the DPS-led troops, or the defense-led troops, did such a good job of clearing out all of these defenses that you could have probably pulled this off with a lower level AQ. And mind you, my BK is still only 10. I'll be working on that soon, because I'm only about 3 levels away from maxing out my my AQ at TH9. So let's watch it all go down. Let's take a look at the troop composition real quick. I brought 2 giants, and these giants had a job here. Their job was to draw fire. One was to draw fire from this archer tower to let 2 balloons sneak in and take that out. Because of this travel distance, yes, you could have just opted to send 3 balloons, but I tended to like to send giants because they have a few more hit points. And that first balloon is just a tank anyway, so you may as well just send a tank with more hit points. The other giant was for this cannon to soak up some extra damage and protect the DPS troops. I brought 10 balloons. 4 were going to be dumped here. Another 2 were going to be dumped here. I was going to drop a rage right there to speed them into the core. I was hoping to take out this air defense to free up more percentage, but it just didn't work out. The other 2 balloons will take out this archer tower, and then I have another 2 balloons to take out something else, but it ended up, I ended up not having enough. I ended up sending them at the wrong archer tower. I sent them at this one, I meant to send them at this one. 2 witches for the CC, 18 hogs, 4 minions for cleanup, 1 minion over here, and I forget where the other ones went. And then I have a CC golem, a max CC golem, which I'm going to deploy here. So let's watch that all go down. So I pre-drop the rage, and then I'm going to speed the balloons in that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That first archer tower is going to go down. That second archer tower goes down because they sped in. The air traps didn't even have a chance to really do anything to them. And I take down 2 defenses, and I have the lure. So that's a good trade at this point. Now the next thing I have to do is I have to free a spot to drop my archer. So, you know, if you're in this particular case, I could have probably just barb walked him over into this corner, but I figured, hey, you know what, may as well take out a defense. Now this was an important defense to take out because with the hogs coming in from this side, the last thing I wanted them to do was to kind of hook around. Or worse yet, jump from here to there and then there, and then you know, move off in some other direction. So taking this guy out was really important, so that I created this corridor that the hogs could kind of path through. So that was a really important step. Okay, so CC's out. Notice, so that's 1 giant pulls fire from the archer tower, and then 2 balloons. So the 2 balloons, and this is again just another 2 for I'm pulling them across the base, plus I'm taking out a defense. Drop my archer to draw them out of the base, and then I start barb walking them around until this. I thought there might have been a witch in here, but I guess I was wrong. Now, one of the things that you'll notice here is as I'm barb walking, there's going to be a pause between when I drop them and when I drop my witches, and that was me furiously slamming at my tablet to drop my witches. They usually come out at the same time, but for some, I had some issue with my tablet that didn't allow me to do that, and I ended up losing a witch in the process. So this is what I'm talking about here, this pause. You know, it's an eternity in Clan Wars. So I dropped that last giant just to draw fire, but it wasn't enough, and that first witch got wasted. And this is one of the reasons you want to offset them, because if you make a mistake, you only make a mistake with that 1 troop. So, but luckily for me, the witches are down. The witches are down, and then the wizards start to chase their DPS, while the defending CC goes and chases down that giant. So that ended up working out pretty well. They go down, and now I start the attack. So those set of balloons go down, but it didn't really do anything. I'll be dropping one of my heroes very soon, but I lose track of him, and then I end up not being able to pop his ability. I remember I threw him in there to take out the Barbarian King, which he ignored anyway. So here's the next stage of the attack. 1 golem to start drawing fire, 2 hogs to take that cannon down, but then the main bulk of the DPS is going to be coming in at that archer tower. This cannon will go down in time, and then at that point my corridor is created. I've got this corridor here, and then you're going to see the heal pop down real quick right after those defenses go down. And then here comes the rage. And now this was important. This is one of the times when using a rage actually makes sense with hogs. There's a lot of high DPS defenses in this area, and I needed to process them extremely quickly. So this was perfect for it. I think 5 or 6 hogs jumped in there under rage, and they dropped it in about 2 seconds flat. They move on to take out the Teslas as well, which was just fantastic. I could have dropped a heal a little bit further down. I think I dropped it a little too high, and you know, I wasn't sure which way they were going to swing, and unfortunately, I could have probably taken out some additional defenses down here, so that was unfortunate. Now, mind you, while all of that is happening, the Archer Queen has moved into position. Another big issue that I had to work out with, and I don't know if you caught this earlier, but I had to make sure that the AQ didn't path in this direction. Let me just get this out here. Because of this set of buildings over here, I had to make sure that at least these 2 sets of buildings went down, and I dropped a wizard there to make sure that those buildings went down, so that the AQ didn't path around the base, and that worked out pretty well. Another very small detail, but a key point to making sure that this even worked. So this entire side is down. The AQ's full. She still has her ability. She's planking away at the town hall. There's no long-range defenses in range of her. That was my primary target, and why I didn't attack the AQ side. I wanted to make sure that I took out these two Expos, so there was nothing plinking away at the AQ, and she was free to do her job. And at this point, I'm at 45%. Golem did a bang-up job of drawing fire for all the DPS. They were able to wipe out this entire side of the build of the base. And at this point, I just moved into cleanup mode. Everything else is down, but all of this is free percentage. So I drop my minions, take those down, and I collect the 2 stars. Now this was a second visit on this base, unfortunately. So ideally we would have done this. I would have been able to do this on the first attack and then free up that Town Hall 10 attack to go and hit lower. And as you can see, we ended up 3-starring more of their bases, but we just couldn't convert on those last few Town Hall 10 bases, and that's something that we're going to be working on. So yeah, Town Hall 10. Just a quick review. Disable those external archer towers. Let's take a look at this base. Disable those external archer towers, free up that percentage, plan your coring team. Single target infernos are a great target for hogs, especially if you're a Town Hall 9 base, or even if you're. This probably could have worked with loons as well if you had enough ranges, but the hogs are faster, and they were able to process more defenses than any of these than hogs were. And then at that point, there are so many considerations. Dealing with pathing, dealing with trash, breaking trash rings. The order that the troops go down in. So many things going on. I wish you could have seen my fingers flying while I was doing this raid, but this one, I was pretty happy with the way that this worked out. I was just as shocked as everybody else to see that it actually went to plan, because they typically don't. But because then I went on to hit their number 7 base, and this is actually, if you guys are a fan of Teemo, now this was a similar base to one that Teemo had hit, and it's a Southern Teaser style base, but I mean, essentially what happened was I messed up a single wall breaker deployment, and it screwed up my pathing into the corner of the base. And instead of moving in towards the town hall, the AQ ended up moving around, taking out storages. She got locked up, and then it was just game over at that point. But if you do see a base like this, the idea here is free percentage here, free percentage here. The lure came in from the north. Some extra free percentage over here with disabling this archer tower with loons so that you could work on the clan castle out here. But the primary thing to work out is you have to take out. The primary thing here is that you have to take out these defenses. Ooh. The reason that you need to take these out is because if you come in from this direction, your troops will swing off in that direction. That's the way the pathing of this base works. So to overcome that, you have to take out these buildings so that everything moves straight into the core of the base. Now, how you do that, I mean, obviously is the trick. Usually it means a few extra wizards here, maybe lighter wizards over here. But in my case, what I ended up doing was dropping a rage, a golem to distract, a rage, and then 2 balloons to take out to take out these defenses. Because these were clustered so close together, those balloons were actually able to take out a lot of defenses. So I got that part. I mean, I nailed the execution down to that part, but then my wall breakers got fried by a wizard over here, and then once that's done, it's game over. And the raid fell apart pretty much after that. But like I said, not always successful, but I'm successful most of the time, and that's good enough for me. Hope you guys thought that was helpful. I mean, I know a lot of you younger Town Hall 9s are looking for ways to take on those Town Hall 10s. I would say work on your heroes, work on getting them to at least combined level of 30, so 15 and 15. I'm loving the fact that I have an AQ 27. She's just a beast, but I am missing some of the hit points and tanking of that BK, so I'm going to be switching my focus back over to him pretty shortly. So yeah, I'll probably try to sneak in a few more updates, and just stay tuned for more content coming your way. And always, if you're looking for a clan, want to learn some of these high-level strategies, we're always recruiting. Just come look us up at Reddit Force Clan. We're listed in the RCS directory. We are a clan war focused clan, but we don't war nonstop. So that's something to consider. A lot of us have day jobs and that kind of thing, so that cuts into our clashing time. But we don't have the bandwidth to run full time, and we found a nice we found a nice steady schedule that we're able to work with. So yeah, come check us out. All right, take care.